Hey, everybody. Happy April. I cannot believe we are in April already. So, I know this video's a little late. I had a bunch of stuff going on earlier, and I am just getting a chance to sit down and get this done. Um, so, I wanted to go over, and I think I didn't even do my February video. I don't remember. I would have to go back and check. But I wanted to run down all my March projects that I completed. Um, I think there's some that aren't in here. We'll deal with that when we get to it because yeah. Um, so you've heard of Sam over at Memphis Makes and Christina over at Bella Uncinetto. They have started a new segment this year that you could join in with them as if you wanted to, and it is hashtag craft yourself free. Um, Basically, you are using up craft supplies, and it doesn't matter if it's new, old, or if you just bought it to do this craft, or if it's been languishing in storage for 3 years. Um, Use what you have. And if you consider it crafting, then it's a craft supply. And you can choose to do it by weights or project or item. It's all up to you. If you want more information, I will link Sam and I will link Christina in the description box. And you can look up their videos, craft yourself, hashtag craft yourself free, and check it out. I've been keeping my lists every month. Yeah, and it's hard for me to get to the videos, but at least I'm keeping track of everything that I'm using each and every month. Um, and I have been weighing the projects because so far, all of them in the past several months have been crochet. Um, so let's get on with the March list. What all did I complete in March? And if you've seen some of the back videos, you're going to recognize these. Um, the first thing that I finished for March was the 13 Grannies in a Square dishcloth, and it's curling. And it was all done in, I believe it was different shades of Hobby Lobby cotton. Um, I didn't save all that information. These things have just been sitting in a basket. And then the second thing I finished was the Lacy Violets dishcloth. And all the dishcloths are for a year of dishcloths over at Laura or Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming for her Wednesday wipeout. If you don't know what that is, she's in the description box. Go check her out. You will love it. And you can get all the information or look back on one of those of us who are joining in our Wednesday wipeout videos, and you'll get the total rundown. So I did the Lacy Violets. And then the third project that I finished, I do not have in my possession. If you want to see that project, you will have to head over to Amanda Panda, over at Obsessive Crochet Lady for her birthday mail, birthday happy mail. And I'm not sure. I want to say the video for what I sent her was just one video. So it might say from Missy's Yarniverse and more, but I can't remember. I made her her own stuffed panda, and I shipped it out to her for her birthday, amongst other little goodies. So I do not have that. But one thing I forgot to say was when I weighed this, it was 1.45 ounces. This one was 1.31 ounces. It's got flowers in it, weighed less. Oh, it's probably all that open work. It took away some ounces. And then the panda, I weighed it before I shipped it off, and it was 6.77 ounces. And then I made one of the emotional support chickens. And I know this is the one that's on the list because it's still in the basket. The other, the ones from February were for hospice. And she was 7.44 ounces. And then I made 3 pink eggs, and they were 1.41 ounces altogether for all 3 of them. And then I made the 6th thing was the Granny Rose dishcloth, and that was 1.31 ounces. And what came next? The Grandmother's Flower Garden dishcloth. That was 1.06 ounces. I think that one was the lightest one so far. And yeah, I got quite a few of them. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4 of them in March. Well, that makes sense. That's 4 weeks. And then I made, for my Amigurumi Monday, I did Piper the possum with her apron full of babies. And the entire weight for her and her babies was 8.61 ounces. And I did not, I did include the additional baby that I made without safety eyes. That is Binks's little playmate. Binks has it. Her and Faith take turns sitting on it. That poor baby possum's been squished. And then the other 2 items, oh, did I say what Piper weighed? She was 8.61 ounces. And then I made, and this goes in the mail tomorrow, I actually, I did not have the right size box for shipping, so I had to go purchase a box today to ship this stuff out. So I actually still have it. I made my sister a blanket hug, and the blanket altogether was 43.70 ounces. And I did it with the Rave yarn from Hobby Lobby, Joann's Big Twist. And it's pretty big. And the colors, the 2 colors I used were, I used 4 complete skeins of Super Beach, and I alternated them with the Electric Citrus. So there was 2 Super Beach, 2 Electric Citrus on the increase, and then for the decrease, I did 2 of each colorway. And then once it was all done and all ends tied in, I did a trim of Super Beach all the way around, and I used up a half a cake of the Super Beach. And I believe what I'm going to do with the rest of it, as long as they're working out right, is I'm going to make the Hearts for Hearts Healing Hearts to send over to the UK for that. So I'll fold this back later. And then that thing is heavy. 43.70 ounces. Yeah. And then I made my 2 sisters, both of them emotional support chickens, to send with the blanket for when they're having a really bad clucking day. They can talk to the chicken, and hopefully she'll help them get over it, and they can put a smile on her face. So the lighter one was 7.65 ounces, and the darker one was 7.55 ounces. So yeah, there was the chickens. I actually had 3 of them for the month of March. I didn't realize that. I had totally forgot. So we'll put that in there because now I can get this box ready to roll to go into, and I am dumping everything everywhere. I've got baby possums on the run. Oh no. Get back in there. And we're going to put her back on the shelf. Seeing as how we're done with that. Yeah, we'll put her back up here. I still love her, guys. I am still debating on whether to enter her into the fair. I'm still conflicted, and I'll show you why here in a minute. But my total in ounces for all of those projects, minus the one you didn't see, which is Amanda's Panda, came to 88.26 ounces. And then, and I don't know if this counts, I did eliminate 24 ounces of yarn from my stash. It's out the door, it's gone. So that is 24 more ounces of yarn out of my stash. That's been shipped off. And so for, if I include, and I'll have to find out from Christina and Sam if we're including any yarns that we ship to people as out of the stash, or if it's just ones that we're actually crafting with. So, like I said, all my projects, and I believe that was all of them. I'm almost positive I didn't forget any, because I try and write them down as I complete them and then weigh them so I don't forget. Those came to 88.26, and then, like I said, I shipped out 24 ounces of yarn out the door, and that came to a whopping total of yarn out of my stash of 112.26 ounces, which, if you break it down into pounds, I got rid of 7.02 ounces. No, 7.02 pounds of yarn out of my stash. Yes. Or crafting supplies. I'm happy. I have probably about 7,000 more pounds to go. So, yeah. So that was March's totals. And I'm going to put this right back in my book so I don't lose it. And I've already started my April list, and I already have something on there. What? Yes, I most certainly do. But yeah, so the whole Piper thing, let me show you what I'm talking about. I know I had talked about in my amigurumi video about whether to enter her into the fair, or I had really had my heart set the last couple of years on making a specific dragon and never have had the chance because I've had a lot of stuff going on, and I just do not get the time, right? So, oh, I forgot. I do have other projects. They are just not complete. I have used a whole lot of yarn on both of the Mandela Madnesses. Yeah. I cannot wait till those are done. So those weights can be, oh my gosh, that Christmas blanket is going to be, I may have to go to the doctor's office and use their scale to weigh it. But anyhow, yeah, so that's not included because those are not complete. But back to Piper. So I was bouncing back and forth the idea of either turning her in as a fair entry, which I'm kind of conflicted because of her having the little youngins, and they have the projects displayed where people are actually able to touch them. They're not back behind anything away from little hands, whatever. And I did a couple years ago when I entered her, my fairy goblin, when we were there actually in the exhibit barn to see how well I did and how well my friend did. We met her and her husband there as well. There was a little kid trying to take her wand. So I had to make her stop. And so I just knew once I got back to go pick her up that following Sunday to bring her home, I just had a feeling she wasn't going to have a fairy wand, but she did. It was still there. But if I enter Piper, I may have to figure out a way to affix these guys in her pockets so that people don't run off with her babies. And then when I go to pick her up, she's got no children. Um, so I've thought about that, and I thought, but the dragon that basically I have been pining to make for over 2 years. I told you its name was Sprinkles. The pattern is by Manic Yarn, and this is Sprinkles, the dragon. It says dragon corn, but I would leave the unicorn horn off. And I think you can see that pretty well. But I absolutely love this dragon. And I actually already have the yarns. Here's the rainbow one. The pattern calls for the Baby Bee from Hobby Lobby, the Sweet Delight Prince, and this one is called Sprinkles. And it's a 4-ounce ball, or 377 yards, and it is a lightweight number 3. And I have the purple, and I also have the aquas in green. The only color they did not have was the orange and the yellow when I was up there, but I don't think I need those separate. I think all of it but the purple and the aqua. I think everything else is in this. So, and I have 3 balls, but I do have access because I believe they do still sell this. I'm almost positive they do. That tells you how often I go to the HL. But yeah, so I'm still contemplating starting this. But at the same time, I really love Piper. So, and I know in my other video, even though you guys didn't know what the dragon was per se, you guys were saying do what you feel. Some of you said, go ahead and start the dragon. And if I don't get it finished, I can still always submit Piper. So that's kind of where I'm at. I just need to remember, did I put the pattern in the filing cabinet or is it in some of the stacks? I gotta dig it out. So yeah. But yeah, that's my conundrum. There's a lot of yeah, and then the dragon's pretty big. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it. So there's that. But yeah. So anyways, I have kept you guys talking for 20 minutes, and this is my second video today. I'm going to try and get this uploaded so you could see it, because like I said, I did not get it done earlier like I had planned, and I need to get this package ready to go into the mail tomorrow for my sisters. And I have some cards to fill out. I've already got cards ready. Yeah. And I got to put the chickens in organza bags. I got a lot to do. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out with me and checking out my rundown of the finished projects for March. And I'm going to try and remember to link everybody in the description box that I talked about. I may have to go back through the video and make sure I remember everybody. I'm almost positive there was 4. I'm almost positive. But anyhow, oh no, there was another person. Erin over at Crafting Kitty and a friend of hers, I think it's um Ray's Yarn Adventure or something. I can't remember. I didn't write it down. They are doing a kind of a make along, and if you want to join in, you make something that is dragon themed. And if I'm able to do the dragon, then I can also participate in their little dragon themed thing. And I think that would be a whole lot of fun because I've always been too busy to join in on any of the make along things that Erin has been doing. And I think that would be fun to actually dip my toes in it and start it off with the dragon. And I think that doesn't end until May for the dragon thing. So yeah, um, there's something to think about. So like I said, I'm going to remember to try and remember to link everybody in the box. And if you don't know who they are, check them out. They are all of them awesome content creators, and I adore them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be watching them, right? And I think you guys would adore them too if you don't know who they are. But then again, if you don't know who they are, I don't know where you've been. Because the cool people know who those guys are. So, anyways, I'm getting a little crazy. I think I'm getting ready to kind of start losing my voice. So I'm going to end this while the getting is good. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and happy April. And yeah, this is the beginning of my birthday month. So we're going to be kind of celebrating here and there. So be looking for some little things to come in the future. So stay tuned. So I'm going to leave you with this. Life is not perfect, so be kind. Try and create something new every day and keep reaching for the stars and your yarn. So till next time, bye guys. Love you bunches. See you soon.